So now let us work out some more problems on 3 variable K-map, because as I said, as you work out more number of problems, you will be more clear with the K-map. And the next problem we are taking is J is equal to f of x, y, z is equal to summation 0, 1, 2, 3. So just to brush up with the K-map, 3 variable K-map structure, let me write the K-map. So it's a 3 variable K-map. So how many cells? How will you identify whether it is 3 variable, 4 variable, 5 variable? Depending on the input variables. So here we have x, y, z, 3 variables. So I am writing 3 variable K-map. I am using 3 variable K-map to simplify this. Otherwise, how can you find out? Look at the mean terms what you have. It is 0, 1, 2, 3. So mean terms are, the largest mean term here is 3. So how many variables are required to get the mean term 3? Minimum 3 variables. 4 variables are not required. Minimum 3 variables are enough. So it's a 3 variable K-map. 7 less than 7, 3 variable. 4 less than 4, 2 variable. 15 less than 15, it is 4 variable K-map, right? So now, 3 variable means I should have 8 cells in a K-map. So I have written 8 cells. So the inputs are x, y, z. So x, y, z. So here I have got only one variable, so it is 0, 1. You can take either 0 or 1. YZ 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Now name the cell. You have, when you are naming the cell, you have to go in order. The input variables are given. Input variables are in order x, y, z. So read in the same order. X, y, z. 0, 0, 0, 0. 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 1, 1, 3, 1, 0, 0, 4, 1, 0, 1, 5, 1, 1, 0, 6, 1, 1, 1, 7. Again I will repeat, this is very important. You have to write 1, 0 here and then 1, 1. Okay. So now what are the mean terms given? 0, 1, 2, 3. So fill the mean terms. 0, 1, 2, 3. Now what is the next step? You have to check the grouping, adjacent cells. Now 0 is adjacent to 1, 1 adjacent to 3, 3 is adjacent to 2. Can I group all the 4 cells because all the 4 cells are adjacent to each other? Yes or no? So now I have to group all the 4 cells because all the 4 cells are adjacent. So this is the grouping that I will get because all the 4 cells are adjacent. And what is the equation you get? How will you write the equation? Look at the 4 cells what we have grouped. For all the 4 cells, what is the value of x? X is 0. So x will not get cancelled because x is 0 for all the 4 cells. So if x is taking 0, what do I write? X bar. Next, check for y. Y is 0 for this, y is 0 for this, but y is 1 for this, 1 for this. So 0 will get cancelled with this one. This 0 will get cancelled with this one. Next, z is 0 here, 1 here, cancel. Z is 1 here, 0 here, cancel. So what we have got? We have got x bar. So j is equal to f of x, y, z is equal to x bar. So this is the answer. So how to check your answer? Again, one more tip to verify your answer. So how many cells we have grouped? 4 cells we have grouped. 2 power what is 4? 2 power 2 is 4. So if we have grouped 4 cells, how many variables should be eliminated? 2 variables. How many variables we had? 3 variables. How many variables I have got? 1. That means the remaining 2 variables are eliminated. So maybe the answer whatever we have got is correct if your grouping is correct because I have eliminated 2 variables and this is one tip to verify the answer what you will get in K-map. So this is one problem. And the second problem is the next problem, not the second problem. We had worked out so many problems in the last class, 4 or 5 problems. Then the next problem, this is a problem wherein you get more than one answer for one problem. When you group the cells according to the rules of K-map, it is not that for a particular switching mean terms, we get only one simplified equation. We may get 2 or 3 multiple answers we may get. for some problem, but not for all the problems. Only for some K-map questions, K-map mean terms, we may get more than one solution. So here I have a problem of that kind. So the question is, j is equal to, let me take the same, j is equal to f of x, y, z is equal to 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So now I'll write the K-map. Okay, you can also do along with me. So I'll write the K-map. So it is, how will we identify it's a 3-variable K-map? Looking at the input variables or looking at the mean terms. The largest mean term I have here is 7. So the largest mean term is 7. So 3 variables are enough to denote or to write the binary equivalent value of 7. So 3-variable K-map I have to use. So x, y, z. Right? So 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Next step, name the cells. In the same order you have to read x, y, z. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 2. Next 1, 0, 0, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, next step is to fill the mean terms and the K-map. So which are the mean terms we have? 0, 2, then this is 3, right? 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay, 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Now, group the cells. So, grouping means what? We have to cover all the mean terms. So, now, let me start with 0. Any cell is adjacent to 0? Yes. 0 is adjacent to 4. Can I group 0 and 4? Yes, I can group because 0 is adjacent to 4. 5 is adjacent to 4, but I cannot group these 3 cells. 3 cells cannot be grouped. Grouping should be done only in the order of 2. If I had 1 here, I would have grouped all the 4 cells, but I don't have a mean term here. 3 cells cannot be grouped, so I will go for these 2 grouping. Okay. So if I had 1 here, corner cells are adjacent, I would have grouped 0, 4, 2, 6. Corner cells are adjacent, I would have grouped 0, 2, 4, 6. But 6 I don't have a mean term. So I can group, this is the largest grouping I will get for this 0. So 0 can be combined only with 4 but not with any other mean terms because they are not adjacent. Okay. So when I group 0 with 4, 0, 4 we have grouped. And what is the equation I get? X will get cancelled and y is 0 for both, so it is y bar, and z is 0 for both, so it is z bar. So y bar into z bar. This is the first term I get. Is equal to y bar z bar. Yes. Next, let me see this 5. Any cell is adjacent to 5? Yeah. 4 is also adjacent. 7 is also adjacent. Okay, very important point. Just listen carefully. For this particular mean term, 4 is also adjacent, 7 is also adjacent. But 4 is already been grouped, correct? 4 is already covered. Let me not combine this 5th mean term with 4. What I do, I go with 7 so that in this particular, if I group this particular terms, 2 mean terms are covered. See, in K-map you always have to go for larger grouping and your intention is to group the mean terms. Okay. So now if I group 5 with 4, 4 is already grouped. Why to go with 4? 7 is not at all grouped with any of the mean term. So let me group 5 and 7 so that this particular group will cover 2 mean terms which are not yet covered. So 5 and 7. So if I group 5 and 7, what is the equation I get? 5 and 7, what is x? X is 1 for both 5 and 7. So I will write x. And y is 0 for 5, y is 1 for 7. So y will get cancelled. Z is what? Z is 1 for 5, z is 1 for 7. So I will write z. Okay. The second term I have got by grouping 5 and 7 is xz. Correct? Now, coming to any other mean terms are not covered? Yes, we have 2 more mean terms which are not covered, that is 2 and 3. And both 2 and 3 are adjacent now. So can I group 2 and 3 now? Yes. So 2 and 3 will form another grouping. So when I group 2 and 3, I get the equation what? 2 and 3, x is having 0 for both 2 and 3. So I'll write x bar, and what is y? Y is taking 1 for both 2 and 3, so it is y. And z is 1 for 3 and z is 0 for 2, so z will get cancelled. So what is the term I have got? X bar y. So what is the answer I have got? Y bar z bar plus xz plus x bar y. Okay, and now just look at your K map. Is there any other mean term that has not been covered? No, we have covered all the mean terms. 0, 4, 7, 5, 2, 3. All the mean terms we have covered. Now, these terms are called as essential prime implicant. Essential prime implicant. Essential prime implicant means which are very much essential to write a simplified equation. See, each grouping is called a prime implicant. Each grouping, what we have done, is called as a prime implicant. What is essential prime implicant? I'll tell you. So now, as I said, these three are essential. But why these three are essential? Let us understand. Now, for the same question, I'll write another K map. For the same problem, I'll write another K map. And I'll tell you which is the other answer I can get for the same question. I said this is a problem wherein we get multiple solutions, right? So 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can we see the diagram of the K map what we have written? Yes. Okay. Okay. So now, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now, I will fill the mean terms here. 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay. So these are the mean terms that I have. Now, just look here. 0, when I started grouping 0, I came to know that 0 is adjacent to 4. So I did group 0 and 4. And if I fold the K map here, 0 will overlap on 2. If I fold the K map, 0 will overlap on 2. So, is 0 and 2 are adjacent? Yes, 0 and 2 are adjacent because 0 is overlapping on 2 or 2 is overlapping on 0. So, instead of grouping 0 with 4, I can also group 0 with 2. In order to cover this particular 0 mean term, I need not group it with 4. I can also, alternative method, I can also group 0 with 2. So, if I group 0 with 2, I group 0 with 2. So, these two grouping I have done. I have grouped 0 and 2. If I group 0 and 2, what is the equation I get? Check the value of x for 0th cell and for 2 cell, second cell, that is mean term 2. What is x? X is 0 for this cell, x is 0 for this cell. So what will I get? I get x bar. And what is y for this cell? 0. What is y for this cell? I did it in green color. So this is 1, 1, this is 1, 0. So what is y for this cell? 1. Y for this cell? 0. So 0 will cancel with 1. And what is z for this particular cell? 0. What is z for this particular cell? 0. So I get x bar into z bar. So what is the first term that I have got? X bar, z bar. This I have got by grouping 0 and 2. Instead of grouping 0 with 4, I know that 0 is also adjacent to 2. So instead of going with 0 and 4, I have grouped 0 and 2. Okay. Now, how do I cover 4? 4 is not covered now. There 4 was covered with 0. But here 4 is not covered. 4 is adjacent to 5, right? So can I group 4 and 5? Yes. So if I group 4 comma 5, what is the equation I get? What is the equation I get? X is taking 1 for both, so it is x. And y is taking 0 for both, so it is y bar. Z is taking 0, 1, so it get cancelled. So what is the second term I have got? X, y bar. So plus x, y bar. Then 3 and 7 are not covered. So I can group 3 and 7. So what is the equation I get if I group 3 and 7? YZ. If I group 3 and 7, I get YZ. So for this particular question, you can either cover the mean terms like this, or you can cover the mean terms like this. Both are correct. So we get two answers for this. One answer is y bar z bar plus xz plus x bar y. Second answer is x bar z bar plus xy bar plus yz. Two answers we get. Both are correct. You can do any one. Okay, but according to the rules of K-map, if we go for larger grouping with adjacent cells, then the answer whatever we, the equation whatever we simplify, that will be the simplified equation for that particular equation. Now, to explain what is essential prime implicant and prime implicant, just look here. Okay, we have covered all the mean terms. And sometimes what you do is, you will cover one, you will make this grouping also. Once you group all the mean terms, you group 4 and 5 also, because you think that 4 and 5 are adjacent, let me group it. This can also be called as a prime implicant. When you group 4 and 5, in this particular problem, see, when we group 0 and 4, 5 and 7, 2 and 3, already all the mean terms are covered. Already all the mean terms are covered means what? If there is no mean term which has not been grouped with any of the group. All the mean terms are covered. We have grouped all the mean terms. Even after grouping the mean terms, if I am grouping 4 and 5, this can be called as a prime implicant. What is the equation I get if I group 4 and 5? There are done right, x, y bar I get. This can be called as a prime implicant, but this is not essential to be written in the equation. This is not an essential prime implicant. But this is a prime implicant. Yes, I can group 4 and 5. There is nothing wrong. But that is not required for the equation, because I have already got the simplified equation by covering all the mean terms. Why again to group 4 and 5? That is not required. So this is an essential prime implicant. Similarly, if I group 0 and 2 here, because they are adjacent, it will become a prime implicant, but that is not an essential prime implicant. So what is the meaning of essential prime implicant? It's a prime implicant wherein at least one unique mean term should be there. Unique means uncovered mean term. So just check here. So don't consider the pink color grouping whatever I have done. I just did it to explain the essential prime implicant and prime implicant. Just for this equation, to explain EPI, essential prime implicant, y bar z bar I had got by covering 0 and 4. So when I did the grouping 0 and 4, both are unique. That means which are not being covered by any other grouping. This is the first grouping I had done, 0 and 4. Remember, you can go back and check. 0 and 4, when I grouped 0 and 4, these 0 and 4 was not being covered by any of the grouping. That was unique. So EPI, essential prime implicant, means in that particular grouping, at least one unique mean term should be there. At least one. Maximum number can be anything. So 0 and 4 both are unique. So this is an EPI. Similarly, XZ that I had got when I grouped 5 and 7. When I grouped 5 and 7, both are unique. Not being covered with any of the mean term. So this is an EPI. Similarly, when I grouped 2 and 3, both are unique. So that is an essential prime implicant. But after grouping this, if I again go for 4 and 5, just see whether 4 is unique. No, because 4 is already covered with this particular group. 5 is unique? No, because already 5 is covered with this grouping. So in this particular group, pink color grouping whatever I have done, 4 is also not unique, 5 is also not unique, because 4 is covered with this group, 5 is covered with this group. So both the mean terms are not unique, they are being covered with the other grouping. So it cannot be called as an EPI. So when you simplify the equation, all the terms should be essential prime implicant. That means in that particular grouping, the largest grouping, at least one unique mean term should be present. Then only that particular term has to be included in the equation. If you keep on writing all the groupings, that doesn't make any sense, because we are not actually simplifying, we are just grouping. But our intention is not just grouping. We should get the simplified equation. Okay. So K-map, the most important rule is, in the simplified equation, you should have only essential prime implicant. That means at least one prime implicant should be unique. Okay. So these are the problems that I have for 3 variable K-map. You can put mean terms, any mean terms, and you can just try to solve the problem. If you are not getting, you can even post a question, I can reply. And one more, let me take another problem here, just to I take x, y, z, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If the question is summation 1, comma 7. Summation 1, comma 7. So this is 1, this is 7. Now what is next step? Check the adjacent cells. Any cells are adjacent to 1? No. 0 also no mean term. 3 is also not a mean term. 5 is also not a mean term. So we don't have any cells adjacent to mean term 1. So you can group only this term. So what is the equation you get? X value is 0, x bar. Y value is 0, y bar. Z value is 1, 1. X bar, y bar, z. Similarly for sub n, any other mean term is adjacent? 3, no. 5, no. 6, no. So you can group only 7. So what is the equation we get? X, y, z. So what is the answer for this? X bar, y bar, z plus x, y, z is the equation. Okay. If in case, if the question is 1, 6, 7. So 6 we will have a mean term, right? If the question is 1, 6, 7. So 6 also there is a mean term, 7 also there is a mean term. For this cell there is no adjacent cell, so you get x bar, y bar, z. For 7, 6 is adjacent, so you will go for 6 and 7 grouping. So what is the equation we get? X, y. So what is the equation? X, y. So look here, when I had grouped only one mean term, I had got 3 variables. Because 2 power 1 is 2, yeah. If I group, there is no mean term that has been eliminated. There is no variable that has been eliminated. So I got x, y, z. But now when I group 6 and 7, see, initially I had z. But now as I go for larger grouping, variables will be eliminated. So I had grouped 2 cells here. So 2 power 1 is 2. So 1 variable is eliminated out of 3. So I have got 2 cells, 2 variables. I'm sorry, 2 variables I have got. So this is about 3 variable K-map. In my next video, I will explain 4 variable K-map. But to understand 4 variable K-map, this is required. So please solve as many problems as you can solve. Only then you will get confidence on grouping the cells. Otherwise, it is not possible. So please do solve more number of problems and we'll start 4 variable K-map. Thank you.